Thank you, Nandini. Ambassador Sibbal, Meera Gurcharan, Professor Radha Kumar, Professor Sahani, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I welcome you all to the discussion. Many friends thought I have gone nuts. This is what crazy idea it is. Some said absurd. But I assure you, by the time this function is over, you will realize it is not as absurd as it sounds in the first instance. US is still the only superpower. But the next one is catching up. 2 years back, Professor Raghuraj Raman, who is the chief economist of the government of India, said at Taj Palace, we should not forget US is 4 times the size of economy of China, but that was then. In 2013, I think Chinese economy in terms of GDP is half of the US. They are tipped to take over by 2016. Now, India has, as Meera vouched, very multi-dimensional, multi-layered relations with the US, perhaps never had so diversified relations. It was our largest trading partner, now China is. And people are saying, what kind of world we are seeing? Some is multipolar world. Where are the multipoles? I read one article that says we are witnessing era of G0. That means there's no superpower. I don't think that's really so feasible in the near future. Then we talk about G2. Yeah, when we talk about G2, certainly India gets alarmed. A few years back when President Obama went to China and said China should play more active role in South Asia, I think many headlines were written in Indian press and media about what it's all about. So this idea of G2, idea of China playing role in South Asia is something which really concerns us, concerns many defense analysts. But when we talk about Asian pivot that the US is talking about, or Panetta comes and says India's a linchpin, again India the picture. Many defense analysts will say that whatever warmth you are seeing in Indo relations, largely it is also, not wholly, economic content, defense contract running to 5 billions, may go to 17, 15, whatever billions, but also that China wants to see, visualize India as counterweight for against China. That means some element. Let's take China, Pakistan. We all know they have very close relations. The entire Pakistani nuclear program or the defense missile program has been assisted, supported by China. You also know China is occupying part of Indian territory, occupied Kashmir, given to China by Pakistan. We also know that there have been little murmurs now. In that part of China, where Muslim population, there have been a lot of agitations when Chinese think that source of that extremism is coming from Pakistan. Again, US designs or programs or graceful exit from Afghanistan. What happens later on is something which may not be necessarily what China, India might be wanting. China is interested, we know, investment in Afghanistan. Certainly they won't like Taliban to take over Afghanistan. There's an element there. But we should also note that even at the height of India's conflict with Pakistan, 1971 in Kargil, China did not open new front. If they had opened a front against India at that time, I think defense people would have thought it must have been much more difficult. The irony is right now when headlines in the press and prime time 9 o'clock news debates all the time are talking about impasse at 17,500 feet height, that country, China, is India's largest trading partner today. The 1,000 Indian companies which are invested there, they're investing here, so it's complication. Then we come to India-Pakistan relations. They are widely related, certainly, but you all the time are talking what China is doing for Pakistan. We say US is not putting enough pressure on Pakistan. They would have done much better. They would have given more information about Richard Hadley. What about recent leaks of WikiLeaks? Musharraf signed a deal. You can have drone attacks, but please don't attack the infrastructure of the terrorists. Don't do this and that. We have these kind of underlying factors which on the face of it may not sound very important, but they are. Because if China was not supporting the Pakistan the way it is, if US was not supporting Pakistan they do, things would have been different. So many people say it's very difficult and perhaps geometrically impossible to really square into a circle. But diplomatically, I personally feel if somehow there could have been constituencies of vested interest in all these countries, vested interest in terms of economic matters, in terms of political, defense strategic, I think relations would have been different. We have such a distinguished panelists here. I can't really say what they are going to say, but I'm sure they are going to give a lot of thought, food for thought. I will stop here. Now I will pass on the reins of proceedings to Ambassador Sibal. But before that, let me clear the fundas for those who have come for the first time. For the first time, we are having 15 minutes for each panelist. Normally, we have 10 minutes. We have 5 minutes extra. When you reach 13 minutes, the charming lady will put yellow flower by your right-hand side. That is your amber light. Please slow down. Red light means you stop there, otherwise you make an accident. And if you don't go away, she will put the white flower. There's a white flag for the peace. Have a nice evening. Thank you.